Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to join you all at the Africa Climate Week 2022. There is overwhelming evidence that climate change-induced shocks have raised social, economic, and development challenges, especially in the recent past. Uganda is therefore not only looking to address climate change, but doing so in an inclusive way that contributes to economic development, that creates jobs and protects the poor. To this end, Uganda has created an enabling framework for addressing climate change and promoting green growth by embedding climate change in our legal and national planning frameworks, like the National Climate Change Act 2021 and the Third National Development Plan 3, having fully fledged program on climate change. There is also the Green Growth Development Strategy 2017 that is guiding the green growth agenda of the country, and the Green Financing Strategy, which is being finalized. Pursuant to a green recovery, Uganda has identified priority areas which are also aligned to global agendas for actions against climate change. To effectively fund the priority area, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has a cardinal role of resource mobilization. And for this purpose, an effective climate finance unit, CFU, has been put in place with support from development partners. The CFU will fast-track Uganda's access to climate finance with a new programmatic approach at country level, in line with Uganda's national climate action plans and priorities, supported by a coherent and programmatic finance from multilateral and bilateral partners. I'm aware that resolutions from this African Climate Week will form a basis of our engagement during Conference of Parties COP27 to be held in Egypt later this year. I'm also aware that, like many African countries, Uganda's priorities for climate change are mainly in areas of adaptation, mitigation, and climate financing. It therefore has been very critical to have Ministry of Finance and its agencies get involved in planning of the country's actions against climate change. For example, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has been engaged in reviewing of the interim nationally determined contributions, NDCs, for final submission. As a ministry, we are in the process of including climate change parameters in the economic modeling tools so that we can quantitatively assess the impact climate change action in the economy for proper planning. Some of the tools developed include the budget tagging tool, disaster risk assessment tool, climate change models like the rapid environment economic assessment tool, and the green procurement strategic plan. This work is ongoing, and I'm happy that during this side event, our experience will be presented by the technical officers. One of the best practices that I'm happy to share with you today is the engagement of global level with other ministries of finance. This engagement under the Coalition of Finance Ministers for Climate Action has helped us share experience with both developed and developing countries. Specifically, the coalition, of which Uganda is a founding member, recognizes central role of finance ministries in number one, preparing and implementing climate change action plans in collaboration with other ministries. Number two, meeting key climate change targets through economic, fiscal, and financial policies. Number three, harnessing the economic and employment opportunities in transitioning our economies for a greener and sustainable future. The coalition, established in 2019, now has 75 member countries, including 13 in the African region. The coalition has provided a useful network for peer learning, exchange, and knowledge creation on key climate topics relevant for finance ministries. Being a member of the coalition has helped Uganda's finance ministry to better integrate climate change priorities into our work and learn best practices from peers. As a member, I invite other countries, particularly those in the Africa region, to join the coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude my remarks by appreciating our partners, the GGGI, for supporting us, World Bank, NDC Partnerships, Economic Recovery Initiative, GIZ, Netherlands and the UK, UNEP, UNDP, among others, for the consistent support they have given Uganda through the years. It is such support that has enabled Uganda to make decisive progress in addressing climate change. We look forward to continued collaboration in this vital endeavor. I thank you for God and my country.